I think graying hair is absolutely gorgeous. One of my friends let her natural graying hair grow out during the shutdown, and I was so disappointed when she started dyeing it again. Story 1. My wife, who is 51 years old, has been basically totally gray since her early 30s. 2 or 3 years ago, she was so frustrated with keeping up with her roots. Touch-up dyeing every 2 to 3 weeks, though it should really have been weekly. I said to her, "Forget it, just stop. You aren't happy, and I don't care. We've been married 23 years. Her hair color doesn't matter to me. I love her, not what color her hair is. Took a while to grow out, and that was super awkward, but now it's better. Several other neighbors have done the same thing in the meantime." Story 2. I'm good with my wife's natural hair, gray in it or her original color she likes. I'm not going to be banned from this thread if I say I love her different wigs. I mean, they come in handy after 30 years of marriage. Story 3. My girlfriend started going gray in her 20s. She said she colored once, but the roots were showing in a few weeks, so she just went with it. She's been totally gray since her 40s and wouldn't consider changing it. She will be 70 next month. We've been together for 11 years, and I think it looks great. I personally think a woman should do what makes her happy. If she decided to dye it, it wouldn't change how I feel about her. Story 4. Have yet to come across this trend, but it's about time. Gray hair is natural and beautiful, more power to people who want to leave it that way. Not that there's anything wrong with dyeing it. I dye my hair too. Story 5. I am near 50. My gray is taking forever to come in. I wish it would. My dad was gray by 40, and I have a friend that was gray by 25. I really liked it on both of them. I have always liked it on women too. In October, I went to see Pearl Jam and was very surprised to see just how many women were doing the natural gray look. They looked beautiful. I am now dating a woman I met at said concert, and she is gray. Story 6. I like color, so I don't mind dyes, but no one should feel that they need it to be attractive. To dye your hair because you like it yourself, that's another story. I like when people have the confidence to be genuine and show their flaws or age. And like you said, many people start to get gray hairs between 20 to 30 years old. I'm 28 and I'm one of those. I've accepted going gray, eventually white. But if I lose my hairline completely, I'll shave it off. I have a very round dome, so I think that would look better. I'll be Jason Statham with hazel eyes. Don't worry, my lady. We've already accepted going gray ourselves. Story 7. I had a girlfriend in college who used to dye her hair black because she had a white streak. I thought it was actually pretty hot, but I can understand why she felt self-conscious about it at the time. 20 years later, I'm glad young people are more comfortable accepting these changes. Story 8. Sure, why not? Everyone wants to present themselves in a way they like. It might be a statement, it can be a desire for a change, it also can be laziness. I sport my beard because I found out not shaving was easier. Not dyeing hair could be the same. Also, as far as I know, some dyeing processes can damage the hair, so this might improve hair health. Story 9. My wife has never used makeup or dyed her hair. She has always been a 10 to me. We have been going together since she was 14 and I was 16. Now going on 50 years together. She's 64. I'm 66. She's still a 10. Story 10. Society normalizing this. Yeah, I wouldn't go that far. Trends come and go. It doesn't surprise me that there is a trend to go gray during COVID-19 when there was also a trend to just not go anywhere. There's nothing wrong with coloring your hair or letting it go natural. It's no different than any other beauty choice. What makes you feel good? Story 11. Something isn't right because everyone on Reddit supports or is attracted to gray hair. Yet all the moms getting attention still have highlights, dye, etc. These posts remind me of the endless posts about a bald head being attractive when the guys with hair dominate in the online dating world. Either way, I don't care if she can rock the silver stripe, but I would go contrarian and do find artificial attractive, just like makeup. As far as society, yes, it's good. People should feel attractive no matter how old they are or what happens to their bodies. Story 12. I think it's sexy. I love natural beauty. Women are so beautiful in so many ways, and I personally feel like fewer should try to cover up. They absolutely mature like a fine wine. Us men, on the other hand, that's another story. We are lucky to have hair. Story 13. I have argued for this with my wife. She's already a total smoke show, so to me it would be like she got a different hairstyle, not some life-altering change. Story 14. Laughing out loud. Many women are dyeing their hair gray. A woman who is naturally gray looks fine. I prefer women closer to my own age, late 50s, and I certainly am not bothered by gray hair. I am annoyed when I see a woman with beautiful gray hair, and then she turns around, and I realize she's actually about 25. I feel cheated. Story 15. I never understand the obsession with looking younger. Age is a natural process, and we should all enjoy the different stages of our life. First gray hair, your first wrinkle or weakening eyesight, joint pain, unable to get up, slowly but surely consumed by Mother Nature. Naturally, though. Story 16. One of my neighbors shaved her head and then let it grow back all silvery white. It looks a lot better than letting the dye job slowly grow out. Story 17. I prefer dyed hair over gray. Obviously not a deal breaker, because I think it looks better, but you will see way more body-positive people speaking up to say natural is always better. I'm just saying it because I don't know what you want to get out of this question, and most people who prefer dyed hair won't be vocal, afraid of the criticism. Story 18. My wife, who is in her 50s, has had a gray stripe just above her right eye since she was in her late 20s, and I think it is so hot. I know that wasn't the question, but I just wanted to talk about my hot wife. Story 19. I dyed my hair for more than a decade. The time wasted sitting in the shop getting my roots touched up, and the expense. Believe me, it's expensive. Got to be too much. After talking to my husband about it, I went cold turkey and let my natural color, salt and pepper gray, grow out. He doesn't care. My hair isn't me, and I'm much happier and more relaxed. As an added thought, can you imagine trying to keep up your dye job with COVID-19 running rampant? Most of the beauty salons in our town were in lockdown and not open for months. Maybe that added to the natural colored hair trend. Story 20. The more people choose to look like their real selves and less like the curated, manicured, high-maintenance image attempting to conform to a photoshopped ideal, the happier they will be, and the happier I will be for them. Story 21. I will and have always preferred a natural appearance that doesn't involve makeup and dye. That being said, if it makes you feel better about yourself, then go for it, but don't do it on my account. Story 22. Yes, yes, yes. I have several friends that have ditched the dye, and they look beautiful. I have tried to get my wife, who is 45, to go for it, but she won't. It is expensive, and dumping chemicals on your head can't be good for you. Story 23. Good for them. My opinion on it shouldn't really matter. It does remind me of how, if you're bald, you look better shaving it all off rather than trying to save it. Story 24. I might have missed this movement. On social media, the dyed color emo/goth look still seems to be all the rage for the most part. Curious where you saw this information. Glad to hear it though. Honestly, I'm tired of everyone trying to be different by looking the same. Story 25. Ha! My wife and I literally just had this conversation yesterday. I was watching television, and she came up to me and asked if I noticed her gray hairs. I didn't see any, which prompted her to turn the light on and ask me to look closer. I acknowledged that I did see some gray hairs, but joked that at least she got to keep hers, as I'm balding and it's a joke between us. She started freaking out, saying she couldn't wait to get her hair colored, to which I replied, "My beard is graying. The hair on my head is falling out. Just be okay and confident with it." Confidence is attractive. I love her regardless of the color or style of her hair. She stood by me during chemotherapy. She's my best friend. I don't care if she grays. Story 26. I say thank goodness. I'm 42, have been graying since 30, and never wanted to use dyes. I think we need to accept aging. My eyes find 40-year-old women attractive and beautiful. Let's all be natural together. Story 27. A regular cut and style is obviously nice, but I don't care for a second about hair color in a partner. Intelligence with kindness and integrity mean far more. Hair dye has been associated with cancer and is not recommended during pregnancy or breastfeeding. The chemicals are toxic and end up in our water supply, so the health risks extend to men as well. The silver or gray is not going away. Accept it and get great haircuts instead. In light of these things, I encourage and support my partner in ditching the dye. Edit to add, gray or silver hair is a normal thing for a lot of people before 30. Story 28. There is a woman who gets on the same tram as me at the airport. She has brown hair with light gray roots that have grown out to be around 5 centimeters. She is drop-dead gorgeous and her hair really suits her. I hope she inadvertently inspires other women to just let their hair be natural. Story 29. My wife has been dyeing her hair since she started graying at the age of 16. In her 40s, she decided to go natural. I supported the decision for 2 reasons. First, it's her hair, and I support her because it's part of my job as her husband. It's also part of my job to be honest with her if I think she's wrong. Second, I also had a feeling that not putting chemicals in her hair every 6 to 8 weeks would make her hair nicer. She gets so many compliments about her hair now. Most people think she pays to get the gray. Story 30. Hell yeah, natural is gorgeous. I've been saying this for years. A man or woman who accepts that they are getting older and knows that this isn't a bad thing has a level of grace that can't be matched by those who try to be something that they are not. Story 31. My lady was 39 when I met her, 15 years older, and she used to dye it at first, but I told her I loved the little salt she had sprinkled through. Within a year, she had this full, beautiful head of gray. It has become a fetish of mine. Whenever I see a beautiful woman with gray, I make sure they know I'm admiring their beauty. Story 32. It's not a matter of normalizing anything. People should do whatever they want. If they want blue hair, brown hair, blonde hair, or silver hair for their whole lives, then they should do it. Adding a color doesn't make someone look more or less real. Story 33. Natural looks should be normalized in general. Not dyeing hair. No makeup. No plastic surgery. For trying to look more beautiful. Not saying you shouldn't do those things, just that I think it should be considered the norm. Story 34. Looking authentic is more attractive to me than not. My girlfriend just turned 30 and she has several gray hairs. I love the way she looks and I prefer for her to keep them. Story 35. I look at having gray hair or just tiny bits of gray quite exquisite. It's something I look up to, find sexy, and respect. It's a sign of being alive from my point of view. Story 36. I'm in my mid-20s and starting to go gray. I have no intention of dyeing it. I'll probably go bald before I'm fully gray. I wouldn't expect anyone else to dye it unless they wanted to and it gave them a confidence boost. Story 37. I like when people embrace their age and flaws rather than spending a lot of money to look 18 when they're visibly 40. I understand why people do it, but I wish people weren't so hard on themselves. Story 38. I didn't know it was a trend. My wife started going back to natural around the time I met her. She had our son some 2.5 years ago. Her hair is a lot healthier now. Those dyes, from what I know, are really rough on hair. Story 39. My wife is a hairstylist in her early 30s. She started going gray really heavily in one patch. I thought it was so pretty, I convinced her to grow it out. She still colors around it, but she gets a crazy amount of compliments, especially when she goes to hair shows for continuing education. We are high school sweethearts, and I have never thought she was sexier than right now. Story 40. I've got some silver stealthily growing in the hair behind my ears, and my wife got hyped over it. If she's this supportive of me, why on earth would I dislike it if she went platinum? Story 41. My wife's doing this. I'm down with it. I told her it kind of makes her look like Rogue from X-Men. The cool one, not the Anna Paquin one. She told me I was ridiculous. I told her she looked hot. It was a good talk. Story 42. I like it. Seems like a pain to dye anyway. I'm turning gray, late 20s, and I don't plan on dyeing it. I'll just hope I age gracefully. If I don't expect myself to dye my grays away, why should I expect it from my wife? Story 43. Big fan. I love my wife's growing gray streak. I had a crush on Rogue as a teenager, so I'm sure that helps, but I think the way her hair is changing is beautiful. I just found my first gray hair in my beard this month, so I hope she feels the same way about me. Story 44. Hair of any color that is well kept and styled to fit the person looks wonderful no matter what the color. I started losing my hair at 17 and gave up the illusion at 30. Been full cue ball ever since, so who am I to judge a person's hair color? Story 45. I like it. Reading the comments here, most men really don't seem to care about what color you dye or don't dye your hair. I'm going gray and I really like it. Women should enjoy this too. Story 46. One of my brother's classmates was going salt and pepper by the time he graduated high school. I thought it was a good look. He probably wasn't too happy about it at 18, though. I love ice white, salt and pepper, and steel gray hair. If mine turns, I'm hoping for ice white because it's beautiful. Story 47. People should do what they think looks good. It is a personal decision. I do not have a preference. If my wife wanted to embrace the gray, go for it. If she wants to keep it brown, go for it. If you are comfortable with yourself, that is an attractive feature, whether you are traditionally attractive or not. Story 48. I am a guy. I am all for if it's genetics, then you are not responsible for fixing it. My hairline is receding and thinning. My mom says I should get hair implants. Started when I was 35 and I am 45 now. I think the same goes for women. It is self-confident and role models healthy attitudes for kids. Story 49. My husband, after 15 years of a marriage that began when we were gloriously 20 years old, is so excited for me to turn gray. I stopped dyeing my hair about 3 years ago and officially cut the last bit of color a couple of months ago. Story 50. I don't give a damn. My wife and I are both in our mid-30s and graying, and neither of us cares. If anything, it's a reminder of our commitment to grow old together.